Good morning, everyone. Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, the morning after the game before. And as the title says, I don't really know how to feel about that. Yeah, it was. What do you say about that performance? I mean, I can't be mad. I can't be mad. Um, Bournemouth came into the game. They was in great form. Picked up a few wins, chasing European places now. Um, and they've been on a good run of form. We went into the game on a good run of form, and at the moment, we need the points. We really desperately need the points. It was a chance yesterday to catch up um, to sort of close the gap on Bournemouth, I guess. But on Bournemouth on Forest. Um, would have been level, would have caught up with Spurs a little bit. So we go into the game thinking to yourself, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a game where we have to dig in deep and find a way to get the result. And we started brilliantly. We had a chance within the first minute that really, really should have been scored. I think the keeper was great yesterday, Petrovic. I think he was brilliant. I enjoyed the little bit of pantomime villain stuff with was it Jimenez on the right? I enjoyed that, and it was it started a good game. It petered out into something that I haven't seen in a while. I didn't think there was a 0-0 possible, to be quite honest with you, between in a game involving West Ham. So I was quite surprised when I saw it end in a 0-0 draw. But it's a good point. It's a good point at home against a team that's in form. It ain't what we need, and it ain't. It's a good performance. It's a dogged performance. But what we need West Ham to do over the next few weeks is find a way. And yesterday we couldn't find a way. We have to, rely on results again to go our way. Liverpool at home to Forest. Let me just remind you that earlier in the season, Forest beat Liverpool 3-0 away from home. So it's not going to be easy. Spurs have Arsenal, obviously. But there's results again going sort of Brighton won yesterday. So they've sort of dragged themselves out of it. So I really don't know how to feel. Listen, I cannot criticise the performance. I cannot say that it was a bad performance. I thought defensively we were solid, but what we need to start doing now, because of what we're getting from the games before this. So what we've got from the games before, we have to find a balance. We either defend great or attack great. That's what the recent run of results has been relying on. I'll answer you after Nick Higgins. Let me start that comment. Yeah, so we either defend great or we attack great. Now we've been attacking more in the last few weeks, but we've found a solid back line now. Dasasi, fantastic. Mavropanos for me. I mean, Fernandez, I think will get it, but Mavropanos is the most improved player I've seen at West Ham for a long time. He is really stepping up. But yeah, but we have to find a way to do both. This is how we're going to get out of this. It ain't good enough claiming points by being great defensively. I think we could have thrown caution to the wind a little bit. I know why we didn't. It was because of the games we've lost at home, by trying to go for it. And Nuno is very defensive minded. As I said before, we've lost games there. The Forest game comes to mind, the Villa game comes to mind when we've been left exposed. So they don't want to leave us exposed. Okay. I'm going to do that one as well from Gun. But yeah, we have to find a way to do both in games. It isn't good enough now for points. I'm afraid. That is a great. Under normal circumstances, yesterday was a great point. We was unlucky. We had chances. We didn't finish our chances. We've seen that throughout the season. That's why we've lost a lot of games. But in with that, we've been poor defensively. Yesterday, we were great defensively, fantastic defensively. They couldn't deal with us. We created chances, but it was, over and over again, we failed to take them chances. We cannot afford to do that at this stage of the season. Now we have to go and maybe try and beat one of the big boys. Listen, it isn't against the realms of possibility. We've been such improved team over the last, let's say month and a half. I think since that the QPR game, I don't think we've lost. But we can't afford to be getting these points. And as the title says, I don't know how to feel about this. I really don't. It's 4-4. I think Pablo getting injured has been aware. But I will say this: we have to rely on results. It wasn't in our hands anyway because of goal difference, but we have to rely on results anyway. In terms of Forest, not Spurs, because we could have been one game within Spurs. Now we're two. But in terms of Forest, even if we would have won yesterday, we'd have been relying on them to lose. So we're in no worse position in terms of Forest. But we do have Liverpool next week. And we are running out of games now. We're down to the last 10 after the Liverpool game. We've got City and Arsenal to play. And Villa away. It's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be tough. But we are within touching distance. A few months ago, when we played Forest, 2 points seemed like a fucking lifetime away because we lost to them. We're 7 points adrift. Got some tough games coming up. We couldn't see where our next win were coming, especially when we lost to Wolves 3-0. That run of games there. April comes and there are some winnable games in April. But as I said, we have to find a way to win these games. We cannot afford to be dropping points like that at home if we're going to stay up. As I said before, under normal circumstances, great point. Great point against a good team in form. The same as Man United. Man United game, when you look across the season, if it goes the worst way, you're going to look at moments. I think the Forest VAR penalty will come back to bite us. I think throwing 2 points away to Bournemouth. I think losing at Chelsea. And I think the Man United equaliser. This one maybe not so much, but, we have to find points. Jared Bowen has got to be a contention of criticism at the moment because we need him to step up, and he's finding it tough, Jared. And he's I think with Pablo, I think we had two people that were freeing up, him and Somerville. You see him yesterday doubling up on Somerville, defending fantastic, by the way. And this is no knock on Bournemouth because I think they're a fantastic defensive side. They lost their whole fucking defence at the beginning of the season and they've rebuilt it. As I said before, our defenders were fantastic. Mavropanos great, Disasi great, but we have to find goals. Somerville's been carrying the load on his shoulders. Bowen needs to start doing it now if Somerville is getting doubled up on. We need someone to find the room. We need someone to find the goals. Tatty, I don't think he's going to find the goals, but he does a lot off the ball. He's the one that's been giving Somerville and Bowen, the room that they need to start scoring goals, and they need to start. That chance yesterday from Bowen, right at the end, could have been a penalty. I've seen them given. I've seen two of them given and two of them not given. He comes in with a shot and the geezer crunches him. It's pretty similar to what, the thing that fucking Freddie Potts done last week, as a matter of fact. Not saying it was a red card or anything. But, it's them sort of thing. And it was that sort of day. It was just a frustrating day that, nobody looked like scoring in the games. But there we go. I'll take some questions before we start wrapping up. But Forest, Liverpool next week. We've got to rely on Forest. We're going to be watching the Forest and Spurs games. And Keith, I agree. And we'll be speaking about that on post-match point, I'm sure. He's carried the team. So let's take some comments here. If only we had Cotty McAvinny, we'd be burying our chances. Tatty and Pablo are working their plums off, but they just need to be scoring. Even if it's 1 in 3 games, it helps. Nuno is infuriating. He keeps talking like we have 21 games content with not losing. Listen, if you can't win, don't lose. That's always the way. £20 super chat. Thank you so much, Nick. Just a little thank you for everything and the rest of the boys do for the community. Keep it out of voice, Nicky. There'll be a video tomorrow. I've had some contact from West Ham. I'm just going to go through it today, and I had a couple of conversations yesterday. So watch this space tomorrow. I'll be updating you on what happened at the London Stadium a couple of weeks ago, and I've got some tasty news, to be quite honest with you. Thank you so much, Nick. That's great. Thank you. If we get relegated, this is 100% Nuno's fault. If we go down, he needs to go. No excuses. Right. Let me just take this one as well. Nick Higgins. Hi, Nick. Is the shirt you're wearing from OK Jersey? No, Nick. But contact me on social media, and I'll tell you where to get one. Very reasonable price too. Fantastic. Look at this shirt. Fantastic shirt. It's not from OK Jersey. You can get the rest of the jerseys at OK Jerseys, but this one isn't available just yet. But I know someone who has got them. So please, if you want one, get in contact with me. Social media, send us a DM, or leave a comment in the comment section down below. We'll get back to you about where to get them because a friend of ours has got them. But yes, it's just infuriating. To be at this stage of the season, you still need to catch up. It's squeaky bum time, but we'll see what happens later. But keep the faith, boys. It's still within a touching distance. One more win, one loss, and it's roles reverse. So yeah, love that top. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's great. 82, I think, the year I was born. But there we go. Thank you so much. Keep the faith. Come back for a post-match pint later. Go and check out the fan cams if you haven't already. Okay, 80-20. Where are we getting the points from in the next 4? Liverpool, Fulham, Villa, City. They come from the most unexpected places. That's what I would say. They come from the most unexpected places. We may get none. We may get full. That's football. We can't dwell on it now. What's been has been, and what's gone has gone, and what's to come is to come. So there we go. But thank you very much. Come back later for post-match run, as I said. But thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Give us a hype. Give us a like. It helps. And share the video. But one thing left to say. Come on, you irons.